Mm. From the beginning. Let's first check how many of them have joined. I think we have still 2 minutes left and we need to check. Are we recording? We will wait. There is some chat. So let's wait for others also to join. Voice is clear. There is some chat. So I will be addressing the chats. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So we will wait for another 1 minute and then we will continue. It's exactly 6. Recording is on. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Uh, Today we will dive deep into experiential learning. So let's begin before other participants join me. So experiential learning means learning by doing and connecting classroom concepts with real life situations. So whatever we are doing in the classroom, that should have a connection with the real life. So instead of only reading or listening, students actively participate through activities, through projects, through role plays, through surveys, through experiments, and through field based tasks. So, a child explores, is inquisitive, and is able to learn and understand more. Just check how many have joined now. Okay. We will wait. So, this approach, my dear friends, make learning more meaningful, more engaging. 15 are there right now, and more memorable for the child throughout the life. It helps the student to develop important life skills. See, we all want to focus, we all want to work upon certain life skills. And what are these life skills? These are critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and problem solving skill. So, this we should imbibe among our learners. In today's classroom, experiential learning bridges the gap between theoretical learning and practical learning. So, whatever we are reading, whatever we are writing, we need to bridge up the gap. And that can be done only through experiential learning, making our student more skillful, and our approach should be more student centric. So, student is in the center, and we educators are just facilitating the child. We are providing facility to the child that the child is able to learn, explore, and understand. So, before I start, uh, good evening, everyone, once again, and a very warm welcome to the session of experiential learning. I am Nupur Majumdar, AIEF Master Trainer and an author. Now, I have been associated with teachers training program, experiential learning, and student center educational practices for more than 2 decades. Through this session, we will share the practical strategies which we all can follow and implement in our classroom, right? And we will dive deep into it and we will understand what actually we should do in our classroom to make our learning and teaching process more engaging and meaningful. Dear educators, I believe that today's webinar will be interactive and insightful for all of us. Now, certain things, we have made a group. Please don't exit from the group, because in case you are not able to get the certificate, you can address your query over there. Please check the spam and the mailbox before putting a message over there. For further updates, for further upcoming webinars, I will be dropping the message in the group. So request you all, and don't feel worried in case there is any query or any other issue. Feel free to ask question. I will unmute all of you towards the end. So what we will learn today, my dear friends, in today's session, we will first understand the concept and importance, that is the significance of experiential learning. We will discuss how experiential learning can be applied across different subjects. We as educators take care of different subjects. So I will share my insight on that particular field. We will also explore practical classroom strategies, what all we should actually do, what all activities we should all conduct and implement in our classroom. Finally, we will conclude with key takeaways and actionable ideas, ideas which are practical in approach for effective teaching learning practices. This session will focus on making learning engaging, meaningful, and student centric. So let's dive deep into it. Understanding experiential learning. Why real life learning matters, right? Real life learning makes education more meaningful, more thoughtful, and we as students are able to relate it with our everyday situation in our life, right? That is why we all discuss about experiential learning. The concept should be carried away home, the concept should be driven home. Many students, you might have observed as educators, struggle to connect textbook knowledge with their everyday experience. They do not find the correlation between the two. Experiential learning helps to bridge this gap, my dear educators. When students are engaged in hands-on activities, means the child is actually performing an activity or is undergoing a situation, they understood concept more clearly, more deeply, more thoughtfully, and retained learning for a lifetime. They do not forget it, they understand it. They are able to analyze, they are able to understand where to apply it in real life situation. It also helps in developing important 21st century skills. We all discuss a lot about 21st century skills, and experiential learning help in imbibing these skills. And what are these 21st century skills? It's critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, and problem solving approach. I believe you all will agree to it that we should have these skills. Our learners should have these skills. Real life task encourages students to become active learners instead of passive learners, or instead of just rote memorization, the old thought process. Reflection and discussion. What is reflection? Reflection means whatever we have learned, we are able to think, we are able to analyze, right? After the activities being conducted in the class, it strengthens their understanding and improves the learning outcome. Learning outcome becomes more strong, adds to the level of confidence. See, when a child become an explorer, right, it adds to his or her confidence. And this is how experiential learning helps the learner. And we as educator, it's our duty, it's our responsibility to provide our student experiential learning in our daily classrooms. Spotting the gap in learning. One major challenge in education today is the gap between the theoretical learning, means whatever we are learning, reading, writing, and with the practical understanding, whether the concept is actually understood by the child, by the learner, or not. Now, if you will look back, you will find that in traditional learning classrooms, students often are passive learners, right? Because teacher is in the center, the major role is of the teacher, which can reduce engagement and curiosity. Teacher keeps on speaking and the child is understanding. So engagement of the learner is less. Many learners find it difficult to understand how classroom connects with real life situation, right? Whether it's reading English or Hindi or social science, they 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 mug it up. They are not able to connect it with real life task or real life situations or scenarios. As a result, learning sometimes become limited to memorization, that is rote learning, the old school of thought, right? Rather than meaningful understanding. Now, NEP and NCF wants that our learners should understand the concept. We will just provide the facility to the child. Experiential learning helps to bridge the gap by promoting active participation. Participation of a child, participation of a student, participation of a learner is more, right? When students, and how this can be done when we are involving our learners in the classrooms, right? In hands-on activities, discussions, projects, real world tasks, raising open-ended question to them, and this makes our learning more meaningful and more impactful. Active learning encourages deeper understanding, critical thinking. The child is able to analyze and better remembering, right? The concept is retained, the child does not forget. Now, what are the silent features or the key features of experiential learning, right? As you can see, the key features: active engagement drives learning, right? So what are the key features? Experiential learning focuses on active participation. Every child is involved, every child becomes thoughtful rather than passive learning. Students learn better when they are directly involved in hands-on activities. See, suppose I'm telling you how to ride a bicycle, I'm providing you a video, but unless and until you will ride a bicycle by your own, you will fall, you will get up again, you will not be able to do that or master the skill of riding a bicycle, right? So students learn better when they are directly involved in hand-on activities, projects, discussions, a real life task, which is related with the life. Now, one important feature of experiential learning is that it connects classroom learning with a real life situation. We will dive deep into it and we will get to know how with each subject we can connect. And what happens, this makes our lessons more meaningful. We are able to correlate it with the real life situation and the concept is taken home by the child. Now, reflection. Now, when I use the word reflection, reflection means thinking why I have learned it, what is the purpose behind it, where I will use it in real life situation in my life. So, reflection is another important key aspect of experiential learning. Students are engaged to think about the experience and analyze whatever they have learned and the learning outcomes in their real life. Now, moving ahead, experiential learning also emphasizes application over rote memorization, where you are applying it in real life situation, right? For example, if I am teaching you about evaporation, verbally I have taught you everything, but unless and until you observe what is evaporation, how plants grow from a seed, it sprouts and then it turns into a big plant, you will not be able to understand. You will not be able to be thoughtful. So this is very, very important. One message is coming. I think someone is messaging me. It's very difficult. Uh, Someone paid right now. So please provide the link. Now, experiential learning also emphasizes application, where we can apply it in a real life situation. Instead of only learning theory, students apply concept in practical situation, which deepens their understanding, right? So, in real life situation or in a similar situation, they are able to apply it. Now, if I talk the overall approach, helps to develop confidence because the child is learning by his or her own. Creativity is there, thoughtfulness is there. So we'll add new ideas, we'll be able to collaborate because team building, collaboration is very, very important, right? Communication becomes better because it's adding confidence. We are talking with other individuals, we are sharing our ideas and opinions, and a problem solving skill also develops among the students. Now, let's talk about, my dear friends, about traditional versus experiential approach, right? So let's discuss about the traditional learning, which is mainly teacher centered. Teacher used to speak and learner used to mug up the things or understand the things, where students mostly link and take notes. It focuses mainly on theory and memorization. So theory part is there, memorization, the old thing that is rote learning or mugging up, we can tell. Mhm. Right now, it's more of exploring. Experiential learning is student centered. We are just helping the child. It's student centered approach and it's activity based. In each and every session of your classroom, there should be some activity which should be connected with the real life situation. Student learn through participation. Active participation is there, right? Discussions are there. They are exchanging their view. Projects and real life tasks are there. So this we all can apply as per the requirement of the subjects. In traditional learning, students are often passive learners because they are just listening. They are not actively involved in any activity, right? They are, whatever we are conveying them, they are taking up that. Whereas, on the contrary, if you see experiential learning, students actively apply knowledge and reflect in their learning, like whatever knowledge they have taken, they are actually applying in the real life situation, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's in their real life. This approach makes learning more engaging. Every child is engaged, sharing their ideas and opinion, practical and meaningful. Now, experiential learning cycle has got certain stages. So let's discuss them one by one. Experiential learning follows a simple learning cycle. And what is that? First, students learn by doing. They are practically doing some activity or maybe a discussion or a debate or a project. Through activities, experiments, projects, and life tasks, tasks which are related with real life. The next step is reflection. With the project or the task they have done, they are actually more thoughtful. They are thinking where it can be applied, how it can be applied. Students think about their experience, discuss what they have learned, right? And analyze the outcome. What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks? What are the consequences they are going to understand? Finally, students apply their learning in new situation. If a similar situation or a new situation is coming in their life, they are able to apply it very, very logically and thoughtfully in their real life. And it can be done through practice, dear educators. The cycle makes learning more active, meaningful, right? See, when activity-based learning is there, they are understanding more. It also add confidence level because we are exchanging our ideas. We are adding on to our knowledge with somebody's else ideas. We are becoming more thoughtful. We are becoming open-minded and we are collaborating. So we are learning the skills also. Now, why real life context works, right? So let's discuss that. First of all, real life context makes learning more meaningful for students. When things are related with day to day situation, we enjoy it, right? When lessons are connected to everyday situations, students become more curious. They have a curiosity. What will happen next? What I am going to learn now? And actively participate in learning process, right? You go to a class and you related with your topic, if you have a discussion, you will find that even the child who hardly speaks will speak at least a line or a two. He will share his or her ideas, right? And it becomes a happy classroom when we all are engaged, we are sharing our views, ideas and opinions. It also strengthens problem solving skill. Suppose we are giving or asking an open-ended question. So you will see, you will find that lot many ideas, lot many opinions, lot many views will come in front of you. And we become more thoughtful. Oh, this can also be done in such specific situation. Now, hands-on activities encourages students to think critically. They are able to analyze, right? Whether this situation is perfect or the other situation which my friend is sharing with me is more appropriate. Make decision. They are decision makers, and this is how they can take decision in life and apply concept practically in the specific situation. Learning through real experiences improve knowledge retention. See, because they are not mugging up, they are thoughtful, they are curious, they are exchanging the ideas and opinions. So the concept is being taken home, understanding becomes more concrete, and they are actually able to apply such type of thought process in their life, that is in their day-to-day situations. Now, my dear friends, when we are speaking and students are just listening, right? So they are passive learners, they are passive listeners. Now, in order to make them active listeners and the concept should be taken home, we need to make them involved. When they learn by doing rather than memorizing, so involve them more, they will learn more. Overall, real life learning helps students become confident, independent, and active learners. So they become confident, they become interactive, and they become more thoughtful learners in real life situation. So now, dear educators, we will share uh, our ideas and opinion regarding subject specific application. Now, in which subject, whether it's English, Hindi, math, science, or social science, how we can make our classroom more of experiential, and where every participant, every learner is an active learner, is engaged, is more thoughtful, is thinking critically, is communicating, is collaborating. So let's discuss about it. Now, first we will discuss about, I think one more message is there. Okay. Chats will be addressed later on, my dear educators. Hope you all will be comfortable because it will be difficult for me to concentrate. Maths in everyday life. Now, see, we all have learned maths, right? We have practiced maths. But how to do it in a real classroom situation? Let's explore it. Let's discuss it. Now, according to me, mathematics become more meaningful when student connected with daily life experience, whether it's a junior class or whether it's a higher class, right? Concepts like addition, subtraction, percentage, and budgeting can be taught through real life situations, right? Give the situation to a child and raise questions. Ask the child to be more thoughtful, right? Like managing personal expenses can be done. How you manage personal expenses, right? What all do you do? So it becomes more meaningful. The child is able to think, understand. Measurement skills. We don't have to find special resource for making our classroom more engaging and more thoughtful. Now, what we have to do, like measurement skill can also be developed through everyday activities. For example, student can apply maths while cooking, measuring ingredients, right? So it's the measurement of any article which the mother or the teacher says, estimating distance or planning small home projects, right? This is the budget you have to plan for the home. So this all can be done in the junior classes. When students see how much maths is used in real life, they develop better understanding. It should be connected with their daily day-to-day life and interest, and this arises the curiosity or the interest of the learner also. Now, let's move forward, my dear educators. Experiential learning helps our learners, our students to move beyond memorization. Memorization, mugging up, right? Remembering the things they need to retain. The concept should be understood so that any question which they come across, they are actually able to solve it practically and confidently in real life situations. Now, science beyond textbooks. Many of us take science in our classes. So, how we can help our students in the science classes? Let's discuss it. Science becomes more interesting, effective when students learn through practical experience. They are actually doing the thing, whether it's the growing of a sapling, whether it's evaporation, whether it's dealing with the shadows, right? Simple, make your activities simple yet meaningful. The child should be thoughtful. Critical thinking should be there, right? Simple hands-on activities and experience experiments at home or in the classroom helps student to develop curiosity and scientific thinking. Like when ice is there in the refrigerator, it does not melt, but when it comes out, it starts melting. Think why, how. Such type of questions you need to trigger. Experiential learning encourages students to learn, and that is learning by doing rather than only reading from the textbook. Beyond the textbook, dear educators, we have to move. We have to make them thinkers, we have to make them explorers. They need to enhance their critical thinking. Whenever students actively participate in experiments, observations, time is 10 minutes, okay, and concepts become more clear, and it becomes easier for the students to remember. Students learn to ask questions, explore solution. Like when they will land into a situation, they will themselves raise question. They become curious. Overall, experiential learning makes science more engaging, meaningful, and connected with the real life situation. Now let's discuss about language, that is English, in our real class. What all we can do and what we should do as educators in our classroom. So English learning becomes more effective when students use the language in real life situation. It's not reading the lines, it's actually applying in the day-to-day situation. Role play, everyday conversation with students improve the communication skill, increases the confidence, and helps in collaboration as well as communication skill, which is very, very important nowadays. Interactive activities encourages students to participate, right? So activities should be very, very participative, right? Like it can be dialogues instead of only memorizing grammar rules, right? Students become more comfortable expressing their thoughts and ideas in English. So when they speak, they become comfortable, right? And the ground rule says that we need to motivate each and every learner. Each and every individual should be appreciated, should be warmly welcomed in our classroom. Experiential learning, dear educators, also connect language learning with students' daily experience. See, English is a global language, right? And if we add confidence, it will help the students to understand, to speak, to come out of their shell. This makes English more practical, engaging, and meaningful for learners. Overall, learning by doing helps the learners to stand, develop fluency in their day to day life. They become fluent, they become confident, and they become active learners. Now, let's discuss about social science. One of the participant has a specific query that how I can. So, sir, I believe you are listening. Social science becomes more meaningful when students connect classroom learning with real life, whether it's Gram Panchayat or Gram Sabha. Tell the students to do role plays, right? Connecting with their real life experiences. Case studies are another good method. Class discussions, current events help students to understand social issues in a more practical, a more meaningful, and more they are able to correlate with their day to day situation. Students are encouraged to express opinions, encourage them to express their views, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Make them active participants with their own experience, what they have understood. Like I was in Hyderabad and in the Hussain Sagar Lake, they celebrated the Bhatkumbha festival, if I'm not wrong, right? So they floated the Bougainvillea flowers. And this is how we can promote experiential learning among our learners. This improves critical thinking, why we are doing, why we are floating the flowers, and it helps in improving their communication skill, developing the collaboration process also, right? Listening to the ideas, opinions, and views of their friends also, of their peer groups also. Community based learning also make abstract concept easier, right? So community, yes, plays a very, very important role. uh, Moving ahead, what all practical classroom strategies we can follow. Now, before we move, let me discuss a few more tips with social science. Teachers can use local examples, survey, interview, invite member from the community. They will exchange their ideas and opinions, and it will add on our knowledge. It will enrich us. It will make us more thoughtful. Experiential learning will help student to become more aware, responsible, and active student, active citizen, I will say, right? So they will become nation builder. Now, what are the practical classroom tips which we can follow? Simple strategies for any classroom. Now, dear participant, it's 4 minutes. I am sharing the link for generating the certificate in your experiential learning group. Please fill it, uh, and you will be able to generate the certificate. I believe you all have got. So in the meantime, you can fill. And even if there is a delay in getting the certificate, don't worry. I'm always there to help you out. You have my personal contact details. Feel free. Please keep in touch with the group and with my Insta account also for further updates. Now, what are the simple strategies which we can follow? Experiential learning does not always require expensive resource or complex planning. With whatever resources we have, whether we are a teacher who is taking care of the rural children or the urban children, we will be able to plan it out, right? Simple classroom strategies can make learning more interactive and meaningful. It can be simple activities. Teacher can use interactive techniques such as think, pair, and share. Two students are there, they are exchanging their ideas. Group discussions can be there, right? To increase students' participation. These activities encourage communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. Problem based activities are also very, very effective, giving students real life situation, helps them to think critically and helps in applying their knowledge in real life situation. Teachers can use local resources, community examples, and newspapers and household material and everyday life will make your classroom teaching more effective. Now, thank you everyone for joining me today and being a part of the session, right? The key experiential learning does not only require expensive tools, my dear friends, or complicated planning. Small, meaningful activities connected to real life can make learning more engaging, more impactful. When students actively participate, explore, discuss, reflect, apply their knowledge, learning becomes deeper. Their meaning, their the learning is imbibed deep into their heart. As educators, even small changes in our learning strategies can create big difference in our classroom, my dear friends. I believe today's session gave you practical ideas that you can use in your own classroom. Thank you for your valuable time and for your support. Don't forget to give your constructive feedback to me in the group. I will try to address each and every query with you all. Now I'm not sharing, stop sharing. If any query is there, you can ask. Feel free to share. I believe everyone got, let's unmute them so that if any query is there, even if the session gets over, feel free to ask in the group. I will address your queries individually. Thank you once again for joining me today. Have a nice day ahead. I believe everyone joined. Let me see the chats and the participants. I believe everyone joined and the link is with everyone for generating the certificate. I'm ending the session. If there is no query,